Today I'm here with Zviad Lazishvili. Zviad, thanks for your time. It is a pleasure to talk with you.
Hello, my friend. Nice to meet you too.
How are you and how is the situation over there?
Regarding pandemic, probably you're asking about the pandemic, right? To be honest, if you don't switch TV, everything is fine. Everything is good. Whenever you switch TV, watch the news, then things are a little bit scary. And just other than that, everything is fine. For me, nothing has changed. I was training every day, seeing my friends. Thankfully, the pandemic didn't affect my family or any of my friends or relatives. So for me, it's pretty cool. Where everything is okay. How about
Uh,
there?
Here from 2 week we can go to gym, but we can do BJJ or contact, only shadow boxing and preparation.
Yeah, they started same thing here, and it was like first phase was like we could train, but we were not able to train inside the gym, like as a group. But now slowly they are starting to go to the second phase, and I think people are already allowed to train. Still now BJJ, but I mean there's like if you are inside the gym, inside the building, then you have to be like 6 feet apart. There's like some rules, but of course some people who are like training close friends or living together. I live, for example, with my teammate, and I we train together every day. So,
You
but
can do
overall it's the same.
you can do sparring during the training, Zviad, in the USA.
Um, no, you can't, not yet, but people still do. Yeah. For some
Okay.
reason, and in other states they already open. There are some states that's open up. For example, the Delaware, I saw like even like 3 or 4 weeks ago, one guy opened his gym, and police came to close it down. But and people came, packed him up, and they couldn't close anything. They trained, and they continued the same way. Yeah.
Zviad, how you started your passion for the combat sports?
Yeah. Can you come again? I couldn't hear you. What was the question?
How did started your passion for the combat sports?
Oh, how did I start mixed martial arts?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was actually the kind of accident because I was a kid and I had a fight. I fought like four security guys in an amusement park. It doesn't matter for the reason. It was not my fault actually. It was their fault. And um, so there was one guy, my first coach, Kopa Lazishvili. He saw me and he saw how I fought like amateurly. But I mean, against the four guys, I was a very small kid. And he just gave me his number and he told me whenever you come to the capital, just give me a call. I'll teach you how to fight. So when I moved to the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi, and I was studying at that time in university, and I had a lot of time after school. So I said, why not? I'll just go and learn self-defense, learn for myself. And I went to his gym, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. In 2 weeks, I dropped it. I said I'm not gonna go there anymore because I mean the small kids, they used to like beat me up because they were like trained, they knew stuff, and I didn't like it. But my coach, he insisted me to go there, and he would just call me. He said, "Hey, where are you?" I would just say some stupid thing, and I'm with my friends. And he would say, I'm coming right now. I'll pick you up. We go to train." He would come and pick me up and take me to train. He literally forced me to train. And over time, I got like obsessed with it, man. I just got involved, and after 6 months, I had my first fight, and then from there on, it went like that. So now I'm fully devoted to the sport, and I think this is my life. I just can't do without it. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure you would have felt it, and you know what I'm talking about if you're training too.
Zviad, in the match against Josh Huber, you demonstrated great skills in both striking and grappling and ground fighting. Do you prefer? The BJJ on the ground fight or the striking?
Um, Against Josh Schuber, it was my first fight in 5 years, and I mean, I had like very bad injury, unfortunately, on my shoulders. I had a rotator cuff tear even for the fight, and I technically I was not able to prepare fully, and that's not the like. I think I showed my 30% what I can, maybe even a little bit less than 30, less than what I can. So I prefer actually both striking and ground game too. Just the problem is mentally, I'm not still believing my striking, but I know that I have a good striking. I just have to believe it for it and just work a little bit more. My current coach Nima Mazari, he who has like karate background, he's like I don't know, I can't tell you, man. Amazing coach, one of the best I've ever met. I've been so many gyms in all around the world, in Italy, in Poland, Russia, Georgia, here in the United States. I've never met such a professional guy. He has like how to say patterns to teach you and show you exactly how you have to improve your striking. And I'm pretty sure in maybe like in 1 year or 2 years, so I will be like very good striker, and I believe in it already because of him. So who knows? Next time, maybe next fight, I'm gonna be more striker than a wrestler and a grappler. But in my genetics, I'm more wrestler, I would say. More like I like more like grounding game, ground and pound, and submissions and those kind of stuff.
Your father was a wrestler, is right?
Yeah,
Zviad.
he was 2 times world champion, 5 times prize winner, and he's still currently he's like 67. He still competes, he still trains. He's a Algerian Wrestling Federation president. He's a beast for his age. He's like really beast. I think I have all these like genetics from him, physical power and endurance, and the wrestling gene came through him probably.
You want to follow the same streets of your father,
Sure.
Zviad.
It's actually he never wanted me to be a sportsman and athlete. He always pushed me to study. He never took me to the gym or never taught me anything, even though his friends always were begging him to just take me to the wrestling class because I had like good skills and I could be a good wrestler. Everybody was telling to him, but he never wanted me to wrestle or he never wanted me to train at all. He was just pushing me all the time to study, and he was telling me it's not, you can do it later, you can do it later. And I started training when I was 19. I never trained before, nothing, never did anything. And so like, you know, it's good and also bad. It's not good is because my body is not used up. It's like I didn't like overused my body, because if I started training when I was 10, for example, 9, I would have a lot of experience, but my body would be used, let's say like this, because everything has expiration time, right? So it's good and bad too. Yeah.
You currently have 12 wins and 0 losses. How do you feel about being unbeaten?
So actually I have a one loss in amateur, but it's not actually I didn't lose that fight. That was very crazy fight, and thanks God that happened. It was a very crazy, I mean, kind of strange story, because in my country it's very hard to be a fighter, you know. It was very hard. So I was telling myself that tournament in Bekaev in 2014 would be last, and I said to myself, this will be last fight I'm gonna do. That's it. I'm done with fighting, and I'm continue studies. So when I went to the Prague, I fought 4 fights in one day, and I won 4 of them. And the 5th fight was that final with him. And organizations, the president, he liked the way I fought, and he came to me and he asked me, if you want, we can put you in a Grand Prix as a like co-main event. You and if your opponent will agree to, and so you would fight in 1 week later. I agreed, and that was my mistake. I shouldn't agree, because we had no money, man. Me and my friend, we were there. We had no money for food to eat, and imagine I lost like 9 kilograms to fight to go down to the weight. So I couldn't recover properly. I was ill, so I couldn't fight as I could. But besides that, we had to fight 3 rounds. 3 rounds we had to fight. First round, he won. My opponent, Francis Boyer, I remember his name. Second round, I won. But second round, I won much better than he won the first round, because he just took me down in the first round and controlled me for 20 seconds, and that's it. In the second round, whole round, I was like controlling him. So we had to fight the third round, and even in a video, girl is coming and showing the third round, but he was like so tired. I probably couldn't continue. I don't know what would happen. And then I saw the judges are calling us, and I thought that he canceled the fight. He didn't want to continue the third round. And we came to the middle, and judge raised his hand up, and I was like shocked. Come on, guys, we had to fight the third round, and it was crazy. So that's how I lost my amateur world championship title. And then I said, no way, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna fight second year. I'm gonna beat this guy again. I wanted to beat him, and he was actually the reason why I kept fighting. Otherwise, I would just drop it and I wouldn't continue. And who knows where I would be here. So I'm thankful to that judge, even that my opponent, that they kept me fighting. Yeah. So, and another thing is I have like a little bit problem in my record, because, you know, the topology or the share dog, they don't, back in my country or in Russia, there are so many tournaments which are not registered in those websites, you know. And when I came to US, I had like 2 fights in topology and 3 fights on the share dog. And actually, I'm having 15 fights, not 12. I have a 15-0 in professional, not 12-0. But the problem is I don't have the videos of that 3 fights, so I could provide it to the topology to update my records. And same is with my opponents. If you look at my topology record, all of my opponents has 0-0-0-0 record. So it's like I have like 10 fights and I'm fighting the guy who has 0 fights. But that's not true, because my opponents had the fights just the same way my fights was not sanctioned. Their fights is not registered either, you know. So end of the day, it seems that it's like a little bit not right, but it's not. All of them had fights. None of them were like debutants or something. And even if you check, for example, Habib's record, his first like 7 or 8 fights, all of them are like that. If you can see like 0-0 up, and it's not because they didn't have the fight. No, it's because it was not sanctioned. It was not registered. That's the reason.
Before LFA, you fought in many minor promotion and events. Do you want to share with us the most underground and weird experience you had?
Yeah. Actually, I fought once in Italy. That was like one of the, I think, like the good memories I have from my fighting career, because I met so many good people, so many good fighters, coaches, and I had also good fights. I think the first fight I had with the Italian guy, but he was originally from Moldova but was born in Italy. What was Petru Biclia or something? I don't remember exactly his name. He was such a nice guy, tough guy. I mean, he didn't give up. We fought like all 3 rounds. Then I fought the Russian guy from Dagestan, and I fought one Moroccan guy there too. I think I had 3 fights, or 3 or 4 fights. I don't remember exactly, to be honest. It was the Combat League World Championship.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, when I remember myself back in that time, I'm like, compared to today's, what about what I can and what I know, what I learned, so much difference. I'm like more amateur at that time, because I had no coaches at that time, no normal training, nothing. Literally, I'm like learning now, man. I'm like, I have 12 fights, but I'm learning a lot of stuff. I'm improving every day. So my game plan, my fighting style, everything is changing every day. So I'm hoping the next fight will be much, much better than my previous fight with Josh Huber.
Many fighters recently claim that MMA and street fight are 2 different words. What do you think about it? And have you ever been in a street fight?
In a street fight,
Yeah.
um, I've been in a street fight so many times I cannot even count, because back in my country, every day was a street fight, man. Every day you could go out. That was our amusement, to fight, and it's like total. I mean, that's nothing new for me. But as soon as when I started training, I never fought in the street. It actually, that was once. That was I didn't want to fight. I just had to fight. Well, I was forced to fight to defend my friend, and that's it. But I was like very accurate, because I really believe that the fighters, professional fighters, shouldn't fight outside, because it's not fair, first of all, and secondly, if you somehow lose the control, you can actually kill a person just like that. I mean, for me, I learn every day how to break, how to choke, how to like knock out a person, and know how to eliminate a person. So if something happens and I'm for example, I'm gonna lose my mind or something, I'll go angry, I may easily kill a person, right? So it's not fair. It's not right thing to do. So I always try to avoid everything. If there were so many times, for example, somebody would come and start like, talking trash and stuff, I would say, oh, thank you, good luck, thank you, brother, good job, and I would just walk away, go. I prefer it that way, because I think beating a person it's not proving that you're strong or you're better. No, just moving away and avoiding the problem, or saying sorry, or even though you didn't do anything. I think that's the power and that's the strength, and every fighter has to be that way.
Zviad, you were born in Georgia. Are MMA no sports in your country?
Yeah, in my country, I would say the wrestling or rugby is one of the top sports, or less arm wrestling also, and like this is strongman. One of those kind of stuff are very, very popular, and we have talent, I would say. There are so many Georgian athletes, amazing wrestlers. If you're a Georgian champion in wrestling, you're like pretty much world class wrestler. But in MMA or boxing or kickboxing, I would say there is no that much attention, and that's big school, and we are still evolving, and we are slowly to say getting better or catching up. When I started MMA, there was maybe one school in whole country, one or two school in whole country. Imagine. And I remember when I was a kid, I always wanted to learn boxing, but there was no boxing school, or there was nothing you could go and learn striking. And MMA same, BJJ same. There is no school. It's slowly starting. Like my coach, he was one of the first coaches who created the school there and started this school, MMA school. I don't know any other. And then slowly the small schools started to coming up, and it's very strange actually. It may be a coincidence or something. My godfather, he was the first Olympian champion in judo, but first independent Georgian Olympian champion. His name is Shota Chochishvili, and he was very famous in Japan. And I didn't knew. I found out it like maybe a year or two ago that he used to fight MMA, but it was an exhibition fight. But I didn't knew, and I was searching about him some stuff in the YouTube. I wanted to find his wrestling matches and stuff, and I accidentally saw the MMA fights. So it's crazy. I was so happy, and he was one of the first Georgian who fought the MMA actually. And my first coach, he was, I think, the third guy who fought MMA from my country. So from here you can understand we don't have that much history of MMA, but I can tell you, brother, the people there, the athletes, they have so much talent. If they have at least like 20% of what, for example, American fighters or Russian fighters have, they will be one of the top fighters. They're great athletes, great strength, great speed, everything, man. I've seen kids, they're insanely talented, but they stop fighting, they stop training because they don't have ability to train. Because there is no any attention for government, there is no financing, nothing. So it's hard. Not everybody are making till the end. Because I have a couple of friends, my old teammates with whom I used to train, like Giga Kukhalashvili or Shotak Ulashvili, Shalva Mamatsashvili. They're like a couple of fighters. They were like pure talents, man. I think if they were born here in America, they would be one of the top fighters with their talents, the abilities, what they could do. So hopefully soon the Georgia MMA fighters will slowly come front and show what they can do.
Zviad, you are a great fighter and you have shown a lot. Are you hoping for a call from the UFC, even in a short notice?
Yeah, sure, man. I actually had one small opportunity, but I mean, I couldn't use it because of my documents. I'm currently with the F1 visa, so I'm like student. I'm doing my master degree now in cybersecurity. So for me to be able to fight in UFC, I have to have a work permit and a professional visa. So I'm working on that right now, and actually I'm waiting the answer from the immigration if they will accept my offer, a request for giving me the professional visa. So as soon as I receive that visa, I'm pretty sure in a very short time I'm gonna get in UFC, because with my record, with my resume, I mean, and with my abilities, I'm pretty sure I can go top. I'm not even thinking about the below leagues. I know that I can get in the top. I just need this small luck and small help of God to like get in there.
Would you like to face Somion in the future?
Sorry?
Would you like to face Somion in the future?
I don't understand, unfortunately, the question. What do I want?
Would you like to face Somion in the future?
Free someone?
Somion.
Oh, call out someone?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't care. Me, I'm type of guy. I don't care who I'm fighting. Anybody I fight. I take it very serious. Doesn't matter for me. It's like champion, and of course I would prefer to fight the top guys. But in the beginning, I think I prefer to just fight anyone. I don't have any name. I don't care. Whoever they will put in front of me, I'm gonna fight. Even if it will be short notice fight against top 5, top 10, doesn't matter for me. If I'm in shape, put me against the tank. I don't care. I just have to be in shape. All my fights, brother, for example, I never prepared for the fight. The preparation for Josh Huber was the first time in my life when I knew who I was fighting and when I know what I was facing. So it's much easier. In the beginning, I was fighting like 10 days notice, 5 days notice, and I didn't even knew who I was fighting. I didn't even knew the name, or I wouldn't knew, I would say, what they know. They were boxer, wrestler. So it's like in the beginning you're terrified because you don't know who you're fighting. You don't know your gameplay. You have to figure out everything in the ring right away. You have to understand who they are, who they fight. And this experience gave me so much knowledge, so much how to say strengths, that now I don't even care. I mean, put me anyone, and it doesn't matter. I have to fight. I have to go there and fight. That's it.
Zviad, the final question. What are your plans for the future?
For plans for now, bro, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting my visa. As soon as I get a visa, I'm ready to go. Before that, I'm planning to compete as much as I can in the BJJ tournaments because I can compete there. In last year and a half, I already competed. I won over 50 matches already. I lost one in absolute weight category because I broke my toe. And it was actually a very funny story. I broke my toe in a big, you know, the absolute, right? There is no weight class, so I had to fight like bigger guys, like 200-pound, 180-pound guys. And in one of the matches, I fought, I wrestled with the guy who was like, I think the former freestyle wrestler, and he was probably like 180, 190 pounds, and he broke my toe. I still beat the guy. I flying armbarred him. I finished him, but I had a broken toe, so I was trying to cancel my fight, my next match. So the next match I went to the judge. I showed him my finger. It was like broken. It was like swollen, like twice big as it's supposed to be. And I said, I'm sorry, cancel me. I cannot continue the fight because of my toe. And he said, okay, no problem. Just go in the middle. They will raise his hand, and then that's it. But I hate losing, man. I hate to lose, and I hate it. And I told him, you know what? No, I'm gonna fight. I don't care. Let's go. If you guys are not just canceling the fight, I'm gonna fight. So I fought it, and I lost with the points, unfortunately, because I mean I was like all my mind was on the toe. I was trying to hide the toe all the wrestling match. So I lost with like 5. He took 5 points, and I took like 2 points. I don't remember. So that's how I lost my one fight there. That's it. I hate losing, man. I'll do everything to not lose. But you know, sometimes you have to face loss too. Doesn't matter. It gives you more knowledge than winning. When you lose, you learn like 10 times more about yourself, about your future, what you have to work in. When you win, of course, you understand a lot of things, but it doesn't teach you. Losing teaches you a lot. So that was good experience too.
Zviad, thanks for your time for this interview. Do you have something to say to your fans?
Oh man, I would say nothing is late, and as long as you have a dream and as long as you chase for it, do everything for it, I'm 100% sure that they will come true all the time, man. God bless. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you, Zviad.
And we can repeat it in future for sure.